What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to bring you some 40 facts on the Warhammer 40K universe. Today we are diving back into the fan lores as we take Thomas H's Iron Souls Space Marine chapter. This is a pretty interesting chapter. They're a successor of the Raven Guard, and they've got some pretty awesome lore. But before I dive into it, I do want to say that this is October, aka Halloween month. So best believe we'll be putting out some creepypastas in the following weeks to come. And yeah, just hold tight for that. If you guys know of any creepy stories from Warhammer 40K, let me know down in the comments below. But for now, let's dive into the Iron Souls Space Marine chapter. Cleanse them from this ground, brothers. Their unholy taint is an offense to my eyes. Bring unto them the shells of flame and the blade. Bring unto them our fury unrivaled. Chapter Master Orville Detrevin. The Purging of Hive Papapisco. So the Iron Souls is a chapter that is a successor of the Raven Guard. Their homeworld is known as Talisman, a former agri-world turned Tau colony that was purged by the founding members of this chapter. Talisman is now a marginal agri-world that lacks a substantial population, but benefits from lesser tides due to the hosted chapter. Their fortress monastery is called the Vaulted Well, which is a former colony ship turned fortress, surrounded on all sides by hundreds of miles of open plains, farmed by the inhabitants. This chapter is indeed Codex compliant, although it is at chapter strength at 1,000, but tactical guidance tends to be ignored. Their battle cry is Remember the Gate. Their chapter tactics consist of blitz strikes and siege breakers. Their combat doctrine. The Iron Souls employ a vast number of Whirlwind and Basilisk artillery pieces, and they utilize these in a tactic called the Anvil Breaker, in which the artillery pieces will begin firing on entrenched enemies, timing the fire missions so that the final shell will land just moments before waves of Battle Brothers come crashing into the lines, causing them to be caught either in the open or returning from their bunkers, with their heads down in their fighting positions, allowing for a swift and brutal execution. Battle Brothers of this chapter usually forego a medium-range weapons, such as the Bolter, for close-range flamers, melee weapons, shotguns, and meltas. Long-range fire is provided by the chapter scouts with stalker bolters and sniper fires. Battle Brothers are also delivered to the enemy lines via bikes, rhinos, land speeders, and the occasional land raider. Dreadnoughts and Terminators will be dropped in either by pod or teleported down just behind the friendly assault wave to provide concentrated fire support. Chapter tactics for defeating an enemy wave attack while on the defensive makes use of direct instead of indirect artillery fire, harnessing the enemy wave flanks with land speeder and heavy weapon fire, forcing them to bunch up, and then they will be countercharged in close range with the previously mentioned weapon systems. Chapter doctrine dictates, however, that defensive situations should be minimized so that the enemy is never allowed to decide when an attack takes place. And now we're going to dive into the notable characters, beginning with Chapter Master Orville Detrevin. He is the first chapter master of the Iron Souls, and he is known for his absolute and complete hatred for the Orc xenotype. He will often prioritize those campaigns above all others, for it is rumored that he once removed an Orc's head and then killed another by bludgeoning it with the first Orc's head. Venerable Brother Angelos. He is a former Terminator captain interred in a Duretio pattern dreadnought. He is also responsible for the chapter's single highest Orc kill count for over a single campaign, with well over 11,900 confirmed kills during the cleansing of Hive Papapisco and the surrounding areas. Sergeant Fona Curux. He is a Rhino commander who once plowed into a Tau trench line. However, he had his vehicle disabled during this attack. The chapter's assault was pushed back without retreating forces being able to recover the sergeant. Kyrux held his position for over 2 hours under relentless assault. Unfortunately for his crew, they've perished. So the sergeant emptied not only his Rhino Stormbolters, but every single weapon of his slain brothers before being rescued during another assault. He is held as an example of everything a forward line brother should be to all new recruits. Recruitment. The chapter Recruitment often takes place from a nearby feral world by volunteers from this planet. Due to the abnormally high mortality rate of new recruits, the neophytes are assigned to the Bombardment Company to build battlefield experience. Company sergeants will drill absolute precision into the new battle brothers, for each one is expected to learn every aspect of their assigned weapon systems, including precisely calculating to the second of a shell or missile's flight time. After a few decades of this, the Marines will graduate to become forward linesmen and begin receiving more intensive personal weapons training. The most skilled of an artillery crew is usually assigned to the scout companies, becoming a forward observer for the artillery crews, and thus they will become responsible for orchestrating the assault waves and bombardments. These scouts are given no means of support. If they are discovered, they must be able to silence the threat, or fight their own way out of it as to not compromise the positions of the artillery emplacements. Vehicles may be dispatched in an attempt to recover them. However, line integrity will not be maintained, and armor will not be wasted in vain rescue attempts. Others will be assigned to either vehicle crews or assault squadrons, depending on their particular talents. However, due to the heavy reliance on armor and artillery that this chapter employs, more tech marines will be able to be there. However, the chapter librarians take great care to ensure that only the strongest battle brothers will be sent to Mars for training to hinder any Adeptus Mechanicus tampering. The chapter's overall willingness to charge enemy lines has earned them the respect from several knight houses, who are all more than happy to assist the Iron Souls in their attacks. And with that being said, guys, that was 40 facts on the Iron Souls Space Marine fan chapter. So let me know what you guys thought about them. Thought they were pretty cool. They kind of give me vibes of like Iron Warriors and Imperial Fists. But overall, I like it. It's a good start to a fan chapter. I like how you said that they focus on like basilisks and like artillery emplacements, so that's pretty cool. I actually have a buddy of mine who was actually an artilleryman. Like he works with like the mortars and stuff like that. So like I know a little bit of like kind of what has to go around with that from all of his stories. But yeah, cool addition to your Space Marines. I really like the color scheme with like the gray and the orange, looks badass, as well as your chapter symbol, the freaking anvil with the lightning bolt. It looks pretty rockin'. But yeah, guys, that was his lore. Let him know how he can improve, what you guys liked about it, and what he can change to make it better. As always, if you guys have your own fan chapters that you want us to cover, send it on over to our Facebook page where I'll try and get to it, sometime sooner or later. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I've got. Remember, Halloween is here, so sit tight and relax as we get ready to give you some creepypastas. Maybe not relax, because, you're gonna get scared. But anyway, that's all I've got. It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.